My name is Megan O'Russell.
And my name is Christopher Russell, and welcome back to Page by Page, Writing the Book in Real Time. This episode brought to you by the Under Armpit Ice Pack. Tell us about it, Megan.
Well, no, okay. So for those of you who are new to the Megan O'Russell drama, I just bumped the table. Okay. First of all, I'm incapable of sitting with my feet on the ground.
Second of all, if you were just now joining us, go back and listen to season 1. All right, sorry, go ahead.
No, you can absolutely start right here. But then if you like this episode, then please do go back to season 1. Pick up Sketchbook of a Wayward Seer from there.
You'll like this episode. This is a funny chapter.
And this is not the end of book 2, so there's no major spoilers that I'm like, run away. Okay, so what happened is, a few years ago...
Excuse me, can you say it correctly?
What had happened was...
Thank you.
A few years ago, I had a massive head injury. Some neck things happened. Some blurgity-blurg happened. And I ended up having a rib ripped out through my armpit.
Okay. The way that you say that makes it sound like somebody reached in and was like, "Wah!" Like an anime or something.
In my head, that's how it works.
Okay.
And the surgeon sent Chris a picture of my rib.
Oh, he didn't send it. He came out and showed us. And we went, me and your mom were like, oh my.
And
whoa.
Didn't it look like Kalima, like just ripped out? So in my head, I was asleep, so I don't know how it went down.
The fact that you referenced that of all the Indiana Jones movies.
But in my head, he ripped it out. So I got a rib ripped out through my armpit, and for some fucking reason... The scar really hurts today. And I'm pretty sure there's some kind of gland under it. And Chris is getting me sick.
Sorry.
And so my armpit gland is swollen. But because I have a scar there from getting my head bashed and having my rib ripped out and all of this trauma, the fact that my armpit hurts right now is freaking me out. So I have an ice pack in my armpit. It's not really in my armpit. It's on my side boob.
On my side boob.
But so when Chris posts the video, because it is actually happening very soon, these videos are going up. That is going to be his Friday project for Florida SuperCon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's going to be your Friday project.
No, that works. That's a great idea.
Yeah. Because Fridays at Comic-Cons are...
Yeah, they're not...
They are boring and lonely.
Oh, they're fun because we get to know our booth buddies, but nobody's showing up for us.
You got some time.
People are there for the celebs, for...
Yeah, you meet a couple...
Which makes sense. I get it.
You meet a couple people who are gonna come back throughout the weekend and become your con friends, and they'll check in with you every day. And that's really cool, but between those cool people that you're going to become friends with stopping by to meet you, there is some time to kill. It's
adorable because I feel like everybody who does their first con, and now that we've done quite a few, we can look around and be like, oh, sweet summer child. I remember when we were you a year ago, and it's nobody's coming Friday. I invested too much money in this. This isn't going to pay back. And it's no, you're fine. Shh.
I spent all this money to be at this Comic-Con, and I made $2.25.
You're okay. Friday is not the make money day.
No, Friday is not the day to make money. You're fine.
You're okay.
Talk to some people, figure out where the bathroom is and where the good coffee is. Your Friday goals are make some friends who are going to keep you entertained through the weekend.
Yes, which is very easy to do.
Yes. Make friends with good booth people around you. Yep. Figure out where the good snacks are. Figure out where the bathrooms are. That's your Friday goals. And if anyone stops by your booth and purchases and makes friends, then you're golden. You do not need to chase your booth fee and try and get it all in on Friday. You're going to be okay. But anyway, the purpose of all that was that when Chris does get the season 2 videos up very soon, if you see a weird ice pack poking out from my cute little page by page shirt, it's because I'm freaking out because my armpit hurts. And no, Mom, I'm fine. It's just because it's right under the scar that I'm trauma, PTSD.
I really thought you were about to say, so if you see the ice pack poking out from my cute little boob, and I was like,
if you see it poking out from my cute little side boob, then you shall know why.
Oh, man. Well, since I've already been partaking, shall we introduce the beer of the week? And by that, I mean reintroduce the same beer that we had last week.
We've got to stop this.
I know. It's hard, y'all. If you're not in the Orlando region, you don't know the struggle. In order to get beer that is to our liking, if Megan liked IPAs, life would be easier. Life would just be better. So press 1 if you vote Megan should learn to like IPAs.
I don't like sock drawer potpourri.
Yes, I know. You talk about it in the book. a couple of times. But I have to drive to this area called Millennia. Y'all, it's so rough over there. But anyway, and it's not that far away. It's just rough.
Honestly, like when people picture Disney traffic hell and like how crazy and maddening it is, what they're really picturing is Millennia.
Yeah.
Because Disney traffic is actually quite well organized and directed.
It is.
Like they
I-4's a
tell
mess,
you
but...
where the fuck they want you to go, and you stick to it, or the mouse is coming after you. No, the mess where you're like, who's going where? What's this madness? And why are 7 cars trying to kill me at once? That's Millennia.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not Disney.
And I have friends who live over there too, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. Yeah. There's some cute apartments over there, but I'm like, oh man, I don't know if it's worth it.
I would never
Nope.
leave the house.
Nope.
Like I'm already a bridge troll. My mother was just visiting us for a while, and she was like, okay, well, let's get out of the house and go for a walk today. You've been working real hard. And I'm like, and my treat is not leaving the house. Like she kept saying it like leaving the house was a treat. And I was like, no. I did leaving the house 2 days ago. I want to not do that. Yeah. I have to do that again tomorrow. Why would I do that today for fun?
Yeah, that's fair.
We should actually get to the chapter. I got distracted by my armpit.
What's funny is I think we both got distracted from saying that this is, once again, Golden Monkey. It's tried and true. It's very good. But yes, we should get to the chapter. But first, how about you give us a last time on?
Previously on Diary of a Blood-Marked Werewolf.
It's weird not to hear Sketchbook of a Wayward Seer.
I know. Wait, should we have different music for this?
No.
Okay, continuing.
The music's the music.
Previously on Diary of a Blood-Marked Werewolf. We rejoin Ella Day the week after the kidnapping. She is at a food truck fest, and drama has already found her in the form of Evan, who, after fornicating with someone else behind a church curtain,
Look at you airing his dirty laundry.
Hey, dude, if you're going to air it behind a church curtain, that is your own damn fault.
Yeah, that's not great.
No. And Ella getting kidnapped. He still thinks that they are on a plain old date, and Ella is gonna let it happen as they go into the food truck fest. Her supernatural guard for the night is Luca, Violet's older brother, and Clara. Yes, that Clara, the Clara of the skeleton at the bottom of the Fisher Clara. Her former boyfriend is Ella's supernatural bodyguard. Luca sees Sheriff Archer, goes right up to him and starts some shit, then storms away.
What is this voice?
And thus ends chapter 1 of Diary of a Blood-Marked Werewolf.
Oh my God. What is this voice?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out like...
Oh, that ain't it, man.
Well,
that ain't it.
It needs to have like a different vibe because it's a different book, but it's the same series.
It's the same series. It's the same main characters, the same players. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is a different vibe.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Well, because in book 1, the whole thing is trying to get to this point.
By the way, sorry, just because before you get to what you're about to say, remember I was like, not any major spoilers where they find the skeleton at the bottom. I'm like, well...
Okay, but as soon as it's like... And this girl has been missing for how long? You're like, okay, bitch is not coming back alive.
Right.
Like, I have seen Criminal Minds. She's dead somewhere.
I'm still unsure about School Spirits. Like, I'm still a little iffy on that one.
That's true. So Chris and I have been re-binging School. Well, he didn't watch School Spirits with me originally. So I am...
She's introducing me.
I am brushing up on my
great.
School Spirits. I am not saying why because paneling thingies have not been announced, but... in a place that is sometimes called Hotlanta, there may be a panel that has something to do with a particular show that I may be on. Yeah. So I am brushing up on my School Spirits, and yeah, I am obsessed with that show.
Yeah, it's well, and I mean it hits so many of the same tropes and points that this series does, that Laureldale does. So I was like really fascinated. I was like, this is really fun. It's very much like that, not clairvoyant necessarily, but in that metaphysical kind of vibe. I was like, all right, I'm vibing. Yeah, it's fun. And now that we're done side questing, shall we get into the chapter?
Yes.
Yes. Or are we not done side questing? We can do more side quests. Life is made of side quests. Trust me, I know. I'm a gamer.
Life is just one long side quest on the way to
No,
death.
it is not one long side quest. If you're doing one long side quest, quit and go back to your first point and then do another side quest. Reset, man. Reset. What? What? I think that's good advice.
I'm not enough of a gamer for that to make spiritual sense
don't worry
to
about
me.
it. Don't worry about it. My gamers out there, I got you. I got you. So without further ado, I now present to you Diary of a Blood-Marked Werewolf by Megan O. Russell, Chapter 2, Mute. I lost Evan somewhere between Luca pissing off the sheriff and the rest of the group hurrying through grabbing their food, taking turns darting around like panicked little rabbits terrified of abandoning Ella guard duty for too long. Except Luca. He didn't dart. He stormed, and I didn't let him get away from me, gluing myself to his side, watching him for stray sparks of temper as I bought a pile of pastries and he got meat-wrapped meat on a stick. I'm going to stop already because that was in one of the chapters that you decided not to use. It was the meat-wrapped meat. It just made me happy that it showed up.
Well, it was like I said before when we were talking about which beginning to use.
Right.
All of those moments were moments I wanted to be in the book.
Yeah.
I just didn't know which to use first.
Are we going to see a sleepover later at Kate's?
Well, I'm not supposed to tell you.
Never mind. Yeah, you can't tell me that. I'm sorry.
Do you
I
want
never
to
said
switch the
anything.
mic a little bit more towards you? I worry about your back. You're very old.
How dare you? I'm not very old.
I'm older. We're both very old.
Look, you'll be 40 next month. I won't. So there's that. Okay, so we're...
Continue.
Yeah, I love you. I'm going to pay for that later. Luca's wolfy sneer probably traumatized the 10-year-old that blocked our path, and I slipped the meat-wrapped meat dude an extra tip for not bursting into tears at Luca's low growl of, "No horseradish." But I had enough confidence in Luca's ability to not kill Jason just to watch Sheriff Fuck cry. I let my chance to fake a freak out and break up the evening early slide by and followed Sydney toward the roped-off pen that was the Food Truck Fest VIP volunteer seating section. Based on her expression, the girl manning the rope to enter the VIP area, Kendall Kennedy, thought Sydney leading 6 non-volunteers into the reserved section held the same horror as flip-flops at a black tie gala, but she let us pass. "Grab another table." Paige set her paper bowl of nachos on a 4-seat table, issuing the instruction to Andre and Jason after they'd already started doing just that. No one acknowledged it. "Look at the view from right here." Paige took my shoulders, pushing me from behind, steering me to the far side of the table. "You can really see how lively the festival is from this seat." I pasted on a preemptive smile, ready to compliment whatever Paige wanted to show off, but she pulled out a chair, planted me in it, and moved on to Jason. "This spot's great for long legs." She put him in the seat next to me on one side, then dove into the chair on my other side. "Doesn't everyone's food look great?" Andre took the spot opposite Jason with Sydney right across from me. Luca's anger lost its bite as he took the last chair, his lips pressed together, his eyes flickering with the kind of humor you usually see in parents when their kid pulls some hilarious shit they're morally obligated to not laugh at. "Good. Keep breathing, buddy." "This is such a great table, Sydney." Paige beamed around at our party of 6, her grin barely tightening at Luca. Party of 6. Party of 6. "So that seat works for you, Paxman? You're sure?" Luca asked, not quite hiding his smile. "Party of 6. "Yes, thank you," Paige said. Shit. Fuck. "I lost Evan!" My words came out like a little yelp. Luca shook his head at me, his lips clamped into a micro-thin line, a faint rumble of laughter in his throat, because Paige's 3 Little Bears seating plan was just the warm-up act for me losing my fucking date. I leapt to my feet, spilling precious drops of my salted caramelized coffee, knocking my chair back. Lots of people passed by, lots of students. No one with Evan's perfectly swooped cartoon prince hair. Fuck. "Where did you last see him?" Andre stood, furrowing his brow. "He's not a lost wallet. He could have wandered anywhere." Paige swirled her fork in the air. "He's fine. He'll turn up." Teeth-grinding silence slammed over the table. Jason froze. Sydney froze. Andre froze. Then Paige's eyes widened in horror, and she froze too. Luca kept eating his meat-wrapped meat while trying not to fucking laugh, which didn't fucking help me at all as I catapulted into the wait who the fuck knows what minefield from hell. Starting with the widest pool, meaning general knowledge available to Laureldalians with internet, cable, or a chatty neighbor, I, Ella Day, had been kidnapped last weekend. I escaped. One of my 2 assailants died. The second kidnapper is still somewhere out in the world, maybe even right here in Laureldale, lurking as they choose their next victim. How dare danger haunt perfect little Laureldale? That's the one thing I'll give Sheriff Fuck. He may be fucking useless at his job and a shit person too, but he didn't fight me when I said I was sure there had been a second person involved in kidnapping me, and that the man who'd held me in the storage shed hadn't been the person who'd pulled me out of Grant's truck. It would have been easier for him to ignore me and let Laureldale slide right back into Sleepy Haven mode, but he didn't. Even though I'd never seen the second kidnapper and didn't know if they were male or female or their age or fucking anything, which means it could be fucking anyone, hence the town-wide paranoia that had everyone on edge. Narrowing the knowledge cluster just a bit to my human friends, who not only knew about the second kidnapper, but also came with the bonus feature of having close enough ties to the Nikolic family and Laureldale High School to remember little details about Clara Lucia Miranda and her disappearance. They hadn't brought up Clara being a fellow late teens brunette, non-Laureldale native who had disappeared conspicuously close to where I was taken, but I'd heard them whispering about it when they thought I was sleeping. According to Jason's whispers, Sheriff Fuck had been pressuring the media not to make irresponsible, unsubstantiated links that could negatively impact an ongoing investigation. Jason had been issued the same order. Cutting the knowledge cluster down a little further to just Paige and Jason. They both knew I'd found a human skeleton mere hours before I got pinched like penny candy. Jason was there for the discovery, and he'd told Paige before shit went to hell and Sheriff Fuck issued the Jason gag order. Then we can hop over to the Etherean knowledge side, where Luca knows I'm a seer who was kidnapped by a witch, clearly removing Evan, a human, from danger of having been snatched by the second kidnapper. Huzzah! Luca also definitely had thoughts on Clara's disappearance being related to my forced leave of absence from society, but I'm not clear on his knowing that I found a skeleton, and there's no way in fuck Luca Nikolic would be eating at a table with Jason Archer rather than trying to eat Jason Archer's spleen just to spite Sheriff Fuck if he knew Clara had been found. Things get even fuckier from there, cutting down to Violet and Caleb, whose tangled bits of knowledge could choke a demon. Then there's Kate, exiled off in left field, fumbling along with no help from me because she can fucking figure it out on her own. And yes, every detail of this steaming mass of half-truths and vague lies mattered as my friends froze, their eyes on me, waiting for my reaction to misplacing Evan. And the correct answer is, think, Ella. Fake panic? Don't panic? Moderate panic? Actually panic? Luca, my stand-in for Violet since she was off-limits, didn't seem worried at all, and he had the most relevant information. Human, therefore not kidnapped. From the human friend POV, Evan was also not a female chilling in a dark, secluded location like a dumbass. Both scales, Evan was fine. He'd wandered off, and that was his problem. No real or fake panic required. Correct response? Calm the humans, keep eating. Except... what if I am the epicenter of awful? What if Evan being anywhere near me dragged him into view of whatever evil asshole might still be lurking in Laureldale? Shit. I couldn't fight past the pressure on my lungs to speak, so I just met Paige's horrified wide eyes and shook my head. That's all it took to launch my little squad into action. Jason leapt to his feet, wrapping his arm around my waist, prioritizing keeping me upright. Don't worry, we'll find him. I'll give him a call. Paige whipped out her phone, hurrying to the corner of the VIP pen as she dialed, like her phone might blast, "Evan's dead and it's Ella's fault," rather than a muted ringtone. "I'll see if we lost him to the fried dough line." Andre moved to follow Paige, but Sydney snatched his arm. "We do not separate." Her glare didn't leave room for negotiation. Lucas sighed, wiping his mouth with his napkin as he stood. "Take Sydney with you to go look," Jason said. "I can take care of Ella." The pressure on my lungs kept getting heavier. I needed air. I needed fucking air. If Evan had gotten dragged into Etherean bullshit because of me... "If something's wrong with Evan, I'm not letting Sydney go look for him," Andre said. "Whoa." Sydney frowned, squinting at Andre's face. "Did a chauvinist eat my boyfriend?" My knees started to give. The table started to wobble. I couldn't tell if it was because I was suffocating or being sucked into a vision at a very bad fucking time. There. Jason pointed to a path south of us. I just said Jason. Sorry.
I was like,
that's not Jason.
That would be a very different. You're changing the plot on me, sir.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. Let me back up.
I'm just going to duck off camera and pull the eyes back.
Okay.
20 minutes on, 20 minutes off.
Accurate. That is how you do it, kids. That's how you do it, children. Follow us for more health tips.
Don't freeze or burn your boob.
No, please don't. I couldn't tell.
Advice from Megan O'Russell, YA author. Don't freeze or burn your boob.
Don't freeze or burn your boob. Okay.
That's it. We're making stickers. I'm kidding.
My God.
No, we're not.
Don't freeze or burn your boob stickers. That's what's going on to the next journal for Kickstarter supporters. Okay. My knees started to give. The table started to wobble. I couldn't tell if it was because I was suffocating or being sucked into a vision at a very bad fucking time. There, Luca pointed to a path south of us. I twisted that way. It took me 3 full seconds to spot what the werewolf had found. The princely hair swoop. My knees buckled. Hey, you're okay. You're okay. Jason lowered me back into my seat. I wanted to scream, no, I'm fucking not. But that wasn't an option, and the screeching in my head scrambled the path to the right thing to say to Jason Archer, keeper of the knowledge of the found skeleton, but shunned from the knowledge of my seerness. So I just nodded, grabbed my chocolate croissant, and shoved enough glorious carbs into my mouth to make speaking impossible, maintaining the method to secure my place as silent observer as we entered Act 3 of our Welcome Back to Laureldale drama. Sydney ran toward the southern end of the VIP pen, waving for Evan. Ren, over here! Damn it, Andre said with a for fuck's sake emphasis, dragging his hands down his face. Evan Ren! Sydney called. Evan spotted Sydney and waved, then nodded to the person walking beside him. Noah. Fuck. Noah fucking Kim. Noah, how many times can my corpse pop into Ella's visions? Fucking Kim. I lost you guys. Evan bent to duck beneath the rope. That is not an entrance. She sounds too much like Paige there. How old is Kendall/Kennedy?
Same year.
Same year? Okay,
We've
great.
We've heard about her before.
Oh, really?
Yes, she's the one with the resting bitch face, so that's why she works better with the park volunteers.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
She has resting bitch face.
RBF. Mm-hmm. Yeah, hearts go out to those of us who have RBF. Those of us. I don't have RBF, but still.
I do.
Yeah, well, you can. Okay. I lost you guys. Evan bent to duck beneath the rope. That is not an entrance, Kendall/Kennedy shouted. I don't know. Evan froze, then pursed his lips in a dramatically swallowed laugh as he stepped back. My apologies. Did you really just wander off? Paige rammed her phone into her pocket as she strode toward Evan, catching him on his path around the pen, pivoting to follow his progress toward the entrance. Did you not bother to read the group email? Of course there was an email. I lost track of everyone somewhere around Luca dragging Ella away to spat with the sheriff. Evan's smile didn't dim one bit. But I picked up a new recruit for the evening, so I'll call it a worthy side quest. Kendall/Kennedy reached for the rope that served as the door to the VIP pen, stopping with her hand hovering over the hook. Should I let them in, Sydney? Sydney sighed, the sound resonating with more exhaustion and less exasperation than Luca's rendition. Only while I'm in here, not later in the night. Fine. Kendall/Kennedy unhooked the rope and let Evan and Noah pass. We'll grab another two-top. Paige flicked a glance at Jason, informing him of his place in the wheel. Jason laid his hand on my shoulder, waiting until I looked up to speak. You okay? I nodded and took a gulp of iced coffee, swallowed the rest of the croissant, grabbed one of the chocolate muffins I'd meant to save for breakfast, and shoved a choking hazard-sized bite into my mouth, cutting Jason off from trying to ask any more questions. He gave my shoulder a gentle squeeze and dared to venture 10 feet away from me to help Paige bring a table over. I found Noah roaming on his own, Evan said as he sauntered our way, smiling as though, or maybe he actually was, completely unaware of the glares shooting at him from various sources. I had plans, Noah said, but none as important as checking in on Ella. He looked at me, meeting my eyes in a way it had taken each of my friends a few tries to manage after Kate had lit the beacons and called for aid in Ella-minding duties. That person-to-person connection with Noah pinged a brutal pinprick, not a stab because I'm an unfeeling ass who couldn't currently muster a whole stab's worth, of worry through my gut that knocked words further away. I shoved more muffin into my mouth, buying time to come up with something to say to Noah, but his attention had already snapped over to Luca and locked the fuck on. "Luca, how are you?" Noah had the perfect amount of concern on his face, not enough to pressure a response, but a well-laid crash pad should emotional breakdown occur. Luca shook his head, not giving Noah the "why the fuck are you asking" scowl I'd been expecting, but more of a "I am once again impressed by your level of awkward" frown. "My food is getting cold, and there are kids in clown makeup." Luca pointed to the blocked-off street right next to us where there was indeed a frolicking flock of clown children. Yay for fucking small-town fun. "You two should catch up." Evan nodded Noah to the newly placed seat beside Luca. Noah's smile got pinched as he moved toward the chair, but not in the usual unhappy kind of way, more like he was suppressing a beaming grin. "It has been a long time." "Oh, come on. Bad Noah. Bad Noah. Don't approach the fucking wolf, Noah." Luca lifted his food, stepping away from the table. The muffin kept me from screaming, "Trust me, this is a good fucking thing," as Noah's face fell. Luca cut behind Noah. "Move in. I'm keeping the corner spot." Red swept up Noah's cheeks as he sat in Luca's former seat, his eyes locked on the table in front of him like that might keep anyone, let alone a werewolf, from noticing his blush. Not that Noah knew he was swooning over an Etherean with a track record of tragic romance. Luca sat too, picking his meat-wrapped meat right back up, but taking the time to speak before tearing in. "And no shit you haven't seen me around. I graduated. Once you claw your way through the gates of hell, you don't go back for visits." "Hey, Jason." Evan kept his voice low, speaking under Noah's laughter. "Mind if I sit by my date?" "Abandon all hope, ye who enter here," Noah said, "but only for 4 torturous years." Luca shook his head, a low laugh rumbling in his throat. Shit. "Planning on staying close?" Jason made no move to stand. "No improvement?" Luca asked. "Paige is always paging," Noah said. "Wait, what?" Paige coughed. I whipped my head back to the Paige-Noah-Luca conversation in time to watch Paige set down her fork like a fucking threat. I crammed more carbs, a gooey pecan sweet roll, into my mouth, keeping myself firmly on the conversation sidelines. "Luca stole my date," Evan said. "I brought a trade." I froze, my whole body tensing, prepping for a fairly justified wave of Luca rage, but Luca was laughing at Paige's scowl, not paying any attention to Evan. Luca had a more human laugh than I'd ever heard from Violet, but it was more than just the absence of wolfy resonance. He had one of those broad laughs that hits a group like gravity, dragging them all into the strength of his cheer. Maybe that's why Clara fell in love with him. "Are you serious?" Jason's tone stayed even, but his words crisped. "Yes," Evan said. Meanwhile, on the somehow less awkward side of the table, "Paging as a verb, meaning a constant," Noah held up both hands, "and at times, I'll admit, a little overwhelming stream of tweaks and pivots trying to perfect every detail of the world around you like life is an auto runner and you're going for the high score." "What?" Paige squeaked. "That's shockingly accurate," Sydney said. "And meant fully as a compliment." Noah wrinkled his nose, with a side of, "Thou treadest a path I wish never to seek." Luca kept laughing, and Noah's eyes just fucking lit up. Oh, Noah. Poor Noah. "Don't make this awkward, Jason." Evan spoke under the joy we could have all been participating in if Evan would just fucking sit down. "Let me sit by my date." "I'd be happy to let you take back over all your projects I've been managing." Paige narrowed her eyes at Noah. Noah's joy vanished. "Paxman." Luca reached across the table, taking Paige's hand with a fuck of a lot more familiarity than I'd expected between him and Paige, not to mention a charming, heart-melting kind of grin. "The world needs people like you, and you are excellent at what you do." "Ella, are you okay if I move?" Jason said. "You're damn right I am." Paige straightened her shoulders and shot Noah a glare. "And I deserve to be appreciated." "Ella." Jason touched the back of my hand. I turned to face him, and he held my gaze, looking for an important answer. "Is that okay?" "Is it? What is it?" "You can't just kiss my shoulder while we're recording."
I didn't.
You did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I felt on my shoulder.
No, I didn't.
Are you sure?
Yes, I was just resting.
I felt a, like, legit. You might have done it unconsciously. It happened.
I was trying to see past the microphone. When you move the mic over, I lose half the screen.
Should we keep this conversation in?
I didn't mean to.
I'll think about it. Maybe I'll cut it. Maybe I won't. We'll see. Okay.
No.
Don't bite me. Ow.
I just want to see the computer too.
Oh my God.
Now I'm just going to bite you.
Get off of me, you
That's
leech.
a new thing. I'm going to bite you while we record and you're not allowed to react.
That's rude. Okay.
New game.
No, because we are going to post videos. Don't bite your husband.
That's going to be the rule. I'm going to bite you without anyone being able to see.
No, you're not. No.
Okay.
Back. Ella, Jason touched the back of my hand. I turned to face him and he held my gaze, looking for an important answer. Is that okay? Is it? What is it? Next 3 committee catch-ups, snack stash on me? Noah said. Ella, are you okay if Jason moves? I nodded to Jason. Okay, but every time you roll your eyes at one of my spreadsheets, that extends by another snack stash, Paige said. Jason stood, picking up his tray. Paige's attention snapped his way. Wait, what's happening? Seat swap, Andre said. What? Paige said. Why? I shoved a hunk of apple pie. The sign had called it an apple hand pie for 2, but sharing is for quitters. Into my mouth, then turned to Paige, giving her an oops, just shoved food in my mouth, can't talk, wince. Luca, Noah gripped the edge of the table, literally white-knuckling. We should find a time to get together. Are you trying to die faster, you fucking idiot? I wanted to scream, but my mouth was fucking full. I'm reuniting with my date, Evan said to Paige. Are you serious? Paige said. I'd love to tap into your... that's right. I'd love to tap into your group leadership genius. A rosy warmth crept up Noah's neck, but the brave-ass fuck held Luca's gaze. Paige stood, facing Evan, leaving people towering over me on both sides. You disappeared on your date for what? Paige checked her damn watch. Half an hour? Which wins you extra asshole points since part of your purpose in fucking being here is making sure said date feels and stays safe. Guys, could you just... Sydney began, shooing Paige, Jason, and Evan away from me, but Paige ranted right over Sydney. And this after, Paige said, after the drama with Haley. Sydney locked eyes with me, and in my head, our silent conversation went, Sydney, want me to throw my waffle at them? Ella, you can't. The waffle looks... Ella, you can't. That waffle looks delicious. Sydney, it is. Want some? Ella, sure. As Sydney cuts off a piece of waffle. Sydney, what should we do? Ella, keep our heads down and hope. Sydney, that Paige leaves Evan alive? Ella, yep. Sydney hands Ella a fork laden with strawberry and whipped cream topped waffle. Fiend. While I can't. That sequence is so ridiculous. I love it so much.
But you know exactly what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean. You want me to throw my waffle at them? You can. It's too delicious.
But you know that those silent conversations where you have, you're like, should I check my... No, don't check your waffle.
Yeah. Do you want to share some? Yeah, I do. Please.
Yeah, you want?
Now, hold on. I have a question for you. Does she actually cut some of her waffle and give it to Ella?
Yeah.
Hilarious. Oh. Okay, then headcanon. How much of that is actually what was going on through each of their minds?
Like it was not those words, but
no,
it was like,
but it was those.
Should I like, huh? No. Looks good. You know it? Okay. Yeah. Are they gonna die? Who the fuck's to say?
All
waffle?
Right, great. Waffle. Yeah, waffle. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hilarious. I did wonder about that. I was like, how much of this is in her head and how much of this is actually happening? So
yeah,
like
funny. It's not the same words, but it's like, Chuck waffle? No, waffle good. Want waffle? Yes.
Yeah, no,
share waffle.
Good.
Death bad. Too bad.
And they all of a sudden become Neanderthals. I love it. Waffle good. Chuck waffle?
No, like those general like sentiments.
No, I got you. Yep. Holy shit. It's so funny. All right. Fiend. While Sydney and I had our moments, the kind where you suddenly become better friends even though nothing important happened, Paige had plowed on with her Evan takedown. Neither need nor want to know the fucked up story behind, because whatever the fuck is wrong between you and Haley has nothing to do with Ella, so keep it the fuck away from her. Paige kept her death glare locked on the white-faced Evan, fully oblivious to the people pausing alongside our pen to watch the show. Our job tonight is to give Ella a calm, quiet, happy time, and you are not contributing to the fucking cause. Now smile and make this a nice night or get the fuck out. Accepting that I was definitely going to have the stomach ache from hell later, I crammed my bacon-topped donut into my mouth, making sure Evan wouldn't hope for backup from me as he glanced my way with wounded indignance in his eyes, while one of the fucks watching from the side of the pen started slow clapping and Paige panted like she had just taken Evan out in a fistfight. Jason lowered himself back into his original chair. "That's my seat, Archer," Evan said. "I'm pretty sure Paige just decided it's not." Jason picked up his massive sandwich and took a nice big bite. "Just fucking great," Evan said. I pinned my gaze on the little dollop of ketchup some previous occupant had left on our table. "Is diving into other people's shit your idea of a nice night, Paxman?" Evan said. The dollop looked like a drunken lawn gnome with a fucked up leg. "If we're talking about me protecting someone I've actually gotten to know from you who latched onto her like a fucking leech, yeah, I call that a great night," Paige said. "And don't pretend you give a shit about Ella. Beatrice was right. You're just desperate to capture a fresh audience for the... Okay, going back.
No. Don't cut that.
I'm cutting it.
You have to keep the
Okay, all right. There we go. I'm warm now. "And don't pretend you give a shit about Ella. Beatrice was right. You're just desperate to capture a fresh audience for your same tired shtick." Someone by the rope sucked in air through their teeth. Another gave a low, ooh. "Are you implying Ella's only worth caring about because she's new?" Evan said in a clipped, furious whisper. I wiped away the ketchup dollop, ending the wounded gnome's pain, distinctly not looking at Paige or Evan. "Back to your corners, children," Lucas said with a masterful touch of werewolf in his tone that left no room for anyone to argue. Paige sank back into her seat. Evan cut around to his place, right the fuck next to Paige, and sat, fury still decidedly fixed on her. "See? Like that." Noah grazed Luca's arm with his elbow, nodding between Paige and Evan. "I need to learn this skill. I'll buy coffee for the 101 lesson." No one at the table spoke as Luca met and held Noah's gaze. Fuck, don't do it, Luca. He's a fucking time bomb. Do not get emotionally invested in this human. Or... I tried to do an audible swallow. I heard Noah's swallow. That's why. "Or we could do dinner." Say no. "Now's not a great time," Luca said. Noah paled, his skin gaining an instant sickly tinge. Relief flooded my chest, letting me fully inhale. The surge of oxygen gave the world an unpleasant wobble. Luca reached over to Noah's plate and snatched a chicory leaf. "And if shit does ever calm down, we're not doing dinner anywhere that considers this." He wiggled the... For some reason I wanted to say waggled. Sorry.
He waggled that, that undressed green. You're going to waggle your green.
I don't know why. That's what I wanted.
We have to cut that. You can't say waggled your green on the podcast.
I don't know what that means, man.
You don't know what that means?
I don't know what waggle my green means. Like, how is that a sexual innuendo? Okay. Luca reached over to Noah's plate and snatched a chicory leaf. "And if shit does ever calm down, we're not doing dinner anywhere that considers this." He wiggled the undressed green. "Food.
How many things that I say that we should cut get left in?"
It depends on how much joy they bring me, to be completely honest.
Because you're the one who actually proves I don't ever hear the final podcast.
I know you don't.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware. Yeah, I'm the producer. Like, yes, we're co-hosts. I'm the producer. This is my podcast, yo. You're in my world.
Oh, shit. I never considered that.
Yeah, that's right. You're welcome. All right. Luca reached over to Noah's plate and snatched a chicory leaf. "And if shit does ever calm down, we're not doing dinner anywhere that considers this." He wiggled the undressed green. "Food. This isn't food." Luca popped the chicory into his mouth. "Then why did you just eat it?" Noah's pallor got a little less deathly. "Garnish," Luca shrugged. I laughed, which made Sydney laugh, which caught Andre. Then everyone else joined in with at least a little chortle, letting us sink into a relaxed enough state for everyone to start eating. Except me. I, shockingly, wasn't out of food, but I couldn't look away from Noah's plate. The piece of chicory Luca had stolen wasn't an anomaly. Noah's entire paper boat of food was nothing but sad-looking, completely undressed, unseasoned vegetables. The edges of the table rippled as anger rolled the pounds of pastries in my gut. Breathe, Ella. Calm, Ella. But who the fuck hated joy enough to serve pure garden bullshit at a food truck fest? Sure, if some human wanted to live to 90 and still be spry, then munch those greens, whatever. But Noah wasn't going to make it to 90. Based on his consistent appearance and all the fucked up ways I'd seen Noah die, I'd guess his Based on his consistent appearance and all the fucked up ways I'd seen Noah die, I'd guess his expiration date as 2 years max. 6 months if he manages to drag himself any closer to the dome of Etherean disaster in Laureldale. Noah should be eating ice cream and fried stuff and skydiving and running the fuck away from Luca, but based on the absolute gleam in Noah's eyes, I had zero chance of making that happen. This is just your salad, right? Luca snagged another green from Noah's plate. If you came to a food truck fest and you're not going to eat anything with seasoning on it, you're getting lessons on spices before we even start on how to herd assholes without anyone's eyes getting scratched out. Nola? Oh God, I went to Girl of Glass.
Wrong book.
Yeah, and also years ago. Noah's swallowed laugh had a little cough to it. That was all it took. Cough, cough, cough. The rippling at the edge of the table crept toward Luca's hand. Noah's cough-punctuated laugh quickened, becoming desperate gasps for air that wouldn't come. Bang, 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 bang. The rhythm shook the ground, rattling my bones. Breathe, Ella. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Noah wasn't. His gasping stopped. Blood dripped from the corner of his mouth. His eyes went wide with shock, but his brow furrowed too, like he wasn't angry, just disappointed in whoever had shoved the bone-handled blade into his chest. He opened his mouth, ready to speak, but voices, hundreds of screaming voices that weren't his, poured out instead. Pain filled the thought-shredding chaos. Fear, too? Noah tipped his head back, opening his mouth wider. The shrieking got louder, but another sound did too. But what? Not what. Think, Ella. Where? Behind me. The world sounded different behind me. I twisted in my seat, trying to see why. A breath-stealing sting, like acid-dipped razors, slid across my flesh as I turned. It wasn't the VIP pen behind me. It was a stage. A stage filled with teens in matching black sequin tuxes and tap shoes, banging out a rhythm too quick for my heart to match. The screams behind me were all happy, the faceless mass cheering the dancers on as they all paddled their arms and legs like an unfortunate cross of scarecrows and foosball men swimming for their little lives, fighting not to drown in a pool I couldn't fucking see. A glow caught my eye in the moment before it happened. The light, nothing terrifying, just a little gleam that didn't belong in the rafters of the bandstand. And then the beam cracked. I couldn't even hear the sound over the pounding of the tap shoes. Run! I tried to shout, but the vision wouldn't even let my lips part. Like a single flick bringing down a house of cards, the beam snapped and the whole roof of the bandstand crumbled. The sheet metal and scaffolding and stage lights and speakers, all of it falling right onto the dancers. That's when fear and pain claimed the park. And thus ends chapter 2. Man,
of Diary.
Diary of a Bloodmarked Werewolf. Yeah. Man, what a way to end it. I got to the end of that and my comment was, whoa, is this the fete, as in the widow's fete? Does it happen at the park as well? It's definitely not in the now or in the past because she couldn't move, but the actual hell? So yeah.
Oh, we should probably explain the actually move to people who are new, or because we haven't talked about it in a while.
That's true. Yeah, go ahead and talk about it.
So
here, wait. Let me move this back over. There we go. We're sharing the microphone.
Yeah. Sharing is caring. No, sharing is for quitters.
Sharing is for quitters. I love that line.
With food, it is. Mm-hmm. But in Ella's visions, she cannot move. She basically doesn't have, this is going to sound weird, she doesn't have feet. She doesn't have the ability to walk through visions of the future.
Right.
Because in the future, there are so many micro changes happening.
Right.
So things like what pair of shoes someone decides to wear on a given day, If someone left a paperclip on the floor in a classroom. Like all kinds of little things that do not make a difference to the future of this major event, but could be different.
Yeah.
So when she's seeing a vision of the future, she's locking in on the moment that matters.
Yeah.
Not all those little micro details of the outfits of everyone else in the room that could very well change, because none of those things are going to affect the major moment that she's honing in on.
Right.
Whereas if she's in the past, that's already set.
It's
already happened.
Yeah.
So the world in those visions exists. So the carpet is what the carpet was.
Right.
So her feet can move across the carpet.
Yes.
She has a full body because that full vision exists. So she has more of an ability to move through visions of the past because it is a more complete scene. So she can have feet that can touch a ground.
You know, you made me think, because there are a lot of theories about time and the way time works, right? Like I you know this about me, but people will say to me, like, time is a construct. And I'm like, it's not a construct. Time exists. Time is, I mean, I don't know if I would necessarily call it an element, or it's more, I guess, a dimension.
Yeah.
But time exists, right? It is something that we live with. The way we experience it linearly, as we do, could be a construct, but it's
I don't think it's a construct. I think it's just how we
experience it. So
because
it's
we
part of
didn't
us.
create how we experience it.
But we created how we measure it. And
yes.
What's interesting though is we're really good at measuring time. We're really good at it.
Well, people came up with a lot of systems of how to make it happen.
That's
and,
true.
They actually picked a good one.
Yes. But my whole point to this is, so you say that the past is set. I wonder if, because there are a lot of theories that time is a loop. Right? The time is a circle. So then is the past constantly in the future as well? So is the past set? Obviously not in this world, but do you ever think about that? Like, it just occurred to me. I was like, this is real nerdy stuff. Sorry.
No, because she is moving from a specific point in time.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, yeah, okay. All right.
So, like, if you think of her as a little Hot Wheels car, her loop point is starting where she is in that moment.
I see, yes.
So, like, going forward or back is a difference to her.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. There was something else I was going to say. I forget what it was. Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay, so do you have any thoughts that you want to share on the chapter before we jump into my comments?
No,
my first comment is so incredibly important. Okay, you ready for it?
I have faith in you.
I lost Evan. My words came out like a little yelp. I was like, oh my God, it just made me immediately think of freaking Home Alone. Kevin!
I will accept that comparison.
That was where my brain
That
went.
is not necessarily what I was aiming for, but I will absolutely accept it.
Okay, so this part is important. This is mostly you. Starting with the widest pool, this is talking about the knowledge, the wait, who the fuck knows what minefield. Starting with the widest pool, meaning general knowledge available to Laureldalians with internet, cable, or a chatty neighbor, I, Ella Day, had been kidnapped last weekend. So you asked me after I read it, you were like, so did you like the way that I explained like who knows what? And you were like, it had to happen. So why was it so important to you to make this happen right now? Because
everything in how Ella interacts with her friends, with the people around her, with the sheriff, with everyone, depends on which part of which lie they have. So knowing...
And that's why she says it, yes, it fucking matters. Like all these half-truths and vague lies, because she has to keep it straight.
And also we have to keep it straight for the reader, too.
Yeah.
Because Ella is not trying to lie in her account of the kidnapping.
Right, no.
To the reader.
Right.
Now, there are a lot of other lies going on, but I think distinguishing early on of like, this is this lie, this is this lie, this is this lie, because it is being said very differently to very different people. I think establishing like, okay, this is sort of the Venn diagram early on is important for the reader's sake, but also for Ella's sake. Like every interaction she now has is fucking exhausting.
Sure. Yeah, sure. It's mental gymnastics.
Because we're beyond the original 3 lies of like, my name is Ella Day, the Grim Reaper doesn't exist, who the fuck knows how the teacher died.
I forgot about that. I'm excited to learn more about Reapers.
So we have, those are the original 3 lies that she was working with. And now we're into, okay, so wait, who, what,
I love that she's like, and Kate's on her fucking own because I just can't.
Fuck Kate.
Yeah, fuck
but
Kate.
Like,
and not fuck Kate. She loves Kate.
But it's like, all of those mental gymnastics are required in pretty much every answer she's giving at this point.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so I needed the reader to have that sort of like that sort of like blinking, like, wait, what am I, who, with her, but also for the audience's sake, to know, okay, so the truth is, but this is the sequence of lies we're dealing with.
Okay.
So it was for them to feel Ella's panic, but also for them to understand, like, here is the Candyland board of lies. Here is your little rainbow jellyfish chute that takes you to the end.
What I'm excited for is when one of the humans in her group gets the little, like, what is it? The character cards that will put them into Etherean territory, you know, without her meaning them to get there. Because it's obviously going to happen. So what I'm saying is,
are we still going with a Candyland metaphor?
Yeah, because you know how they're like those. I forget who the characters are in it, but like you can get like the girl that's like associated with like muffins or something, and you can get her character card, and it will automatically place you on that slot.
So you're trying to go for a metaphor of a human finding out about Ethereans?
Correct. Yes.
But we're still stuck in a Candyland board.
We're still stuck in a Candyland. I'm trying. Okay, I'm trying to play here. Yes.
So
and
the Muffin Man knows too much.
The Muffin Man, we know too much. Yeah, the Muffin Man knows too much. And
so you're excited for the Muffin Man to know too much? I'm
assuming, well, I'm going to say it, but we can't keep it, but I'm going to say it. Isn't Evan the Muffin Man? So, so anyway, so no, but my assumption is it's either going to be Paige or Jason that finds out first. Oh, well, no, it could be Noah too. Interesting. Just because, okay, let's just face it, and you don't have to answer this, but just for me to the audience out there, as a fellow reader, somebody who is finding this out just shortly before you do, right? I am discovering this with you guys. And some of you are ahead of me, even because you're like, oh yeah, I see what's happening. I'm like, tell me, because I'm stupid and can't see it.
You were not stupid.
About certain things.
You're just not the best at reading foreshadowing.
That's very true, yeah. Context clues are tough for me sometimes. They're lost on me occasionally. But no, that with a book like this, there is always going to be that moment when the two worlds collide, right? So there's going to be a moment when, and I'm assuming it's going to be Jason is going to find out about her. And I think that her dropping the whole who's not allowed to know about my seerness is a little bit of a hint of like, yet, but it's happening. It's totally going to happen. I am convinced. So anyway, moving on. I loved this part, this callback. They both knew I'd found, this is both being Paige and Jason, they both knew I'd found a human skeleton. Because it wasn't a human skeleton. No. But that's what they have to believe. Mm-hmm. And her freaking canines are ripped out.
It was a werewolf skeleton.
It was a werewolf skeleton. Oh, the Kendall/Kennedy. I saw that and immediately laughed out loud. I was like, hilarious. She's like, Kendall Kennedy? I don't fucking know.
Well, it's one of the two.
It's one of the two. Also, what is Luca's problem with kids in clown makeup?
Have you ever seen a herd of children in clown makeup?
No, I haven't. That sounds horrifying. Okay, yeah, that answers that question. But I was like, why is he so... Well, yeah, sure.
If you've ever seen a herd of children in clown makeup, you would know.
Wait, have you seen a herd of children in clown makeup? Horrifying. Where? Not anywhere near here, hopefully.
How many dance things have I done in my life?
Yeah, fair. Okay. Were they doing a Pagliacci number?
No, they were just like being clowns. Yeah, I don't know. It was weird.
Yeesh. Luca stole my date, Evan said. I brought a trade. I went, oh no, you didn't, you douche. And Megan, what did you say about this?
I mean, okay, you shouldn't say it like that.
No.
But it's not like he's wrong. Evan decided that he wanted to take, or Luca decided he wanted to take Evan's date. Evan found a distraction, set it in front of Luca, went to get his date back.
So then on top of this, I was like, how the hell was Luca flirting with Ella? And Megan goes, well, they locked fingers. That's clearly flirting. And that was a jab at me.
Okay, let's rewind. So when Luca's going after the sheriff, Ella grabs his hand, and because she doesn't want to set him off pain-wise by squeezing too hard, because you don't want to cause a werewolf who's on the edge pain.
Right, and she could squeeze hard enough to hurt him. Yeah.
So she laces her fingers through his and is squeezing that way because it is a hell of a lot harder to cause pain in that position.
Uh-huh.
So she's interlocking fingers with him and squeezing really hard, which is gonna look intimate.
Yeah, sure.
So it makes sense that Evan was like, great holding hands with my date. I'm going to find someone else for you. Here you go. Now give me my fucking date back.
Tell me it wasn't a jab at me, though, too.
No, okay, the interlocking fingers was not a jab at you.
Oh, really? Okay.
No, that was practicality for squeezing.
Okay.
Now,
no, not that. I'm saying you saying it. I'm not saying you putting it in the book. I mean, you saying, no, they were interlocking fingers. Clearly, they were flirting. And I was like, you are such a jerk.
You're the one who taught me that.
So Megan, Elizabeth, and I went on a date October 11th, 2003.
Oh my God.
We went to an opera called Così fan tutte. It's a Mozart opera, and or maybe it's an operetta. I can't quite remember. Anyway, but she held my hand. Thank you for pushing your imaginary glasses up. We do both wear glasses, so we can do that. But I was like, well, we're dating now. And Megan's like, why do you think that? This was back then. And I was like,
we were 18.
You held my hand. Yeah, this was a long time ago. This was 21 years ago.
Okay, but we also weren't 13, and you were like, you held my hand.
Look, you're right. You're right.
Okay, continue the story.
So anyway, Megan held my hand, and I was like, well, we're dating now. And Megan's like, no.
And you were like, but you held
my hand.
You held my hand during the opera, and we like locked fingers, so we're dating. And I was like, I'm sorry, no. You
know what it's like looking back on it in hindsight? It's like that episode of Big Bang Theory. Is it Billy Bob Thornton that does it? Where it's like, you touched me for 2 Mississippis.
Yes, you touched me for 2 Mississippis. That means you like me.
And it's like, it's so
you
real.
You locked fingers with me. That means we're dating. But you were 18, not 13.
Poor teenage Chris. Oh,
you were like,
what a mess.
But that means we're dating.
Hey, look, you chose to stay with us. That's on you, man.
Okay, it was 14. Okay, so we went to a university that had a much higher female population than male.
I remember exactly what it was. It was 8-1. It was 8 females to every 1 male. And then it was 16-1 if you took into account the straight men to straight women. And I'm talking like straight cis women. I'm thinking about it.
I don't think that anyone would have measured that on campus.
No, I don't think so either. I'm trying to think if there was anybody, obviously, I don't think openly because it was a very different time, but if there was anybody that was trans, and I just never knew. Not that it matters. I'm just curious now. Anyway, but yeah.
But yeah, according to like the official student surveys, and we were talking about straight men to straight women, it was 16 straight women for every 1 straight man.
So yeah, you didn't have many choices. I feel like most of the choices were
could have waited.
Law school, probably. I don't know.
But you were adorable. And
thanks. And I played piano.
That had very little to do with it.
I made sure everybody knew it. Because I was a douche. You
want to come in and let me play guitar? Yep. Okay.
Yeah, that's so true.
Alanzi.
So I went, oh my fucking God, the teen drama, so good and so real, and poor fucking Ella, also poor Noah. Like just the back and forth conversations between Jason and Evan, that little fight that's, the fight that's happening.
I want to sit by my date.
And then Jason being like, you planning on staying close by? It's like, oh my God, the jabs. My favorite though is the way that he ends it. He's like, pretty sure Paige just decided it's not your seat. Oh, the going back to the Sydney Ella silent convo. When I read this the first time, I went, OMG, you're unhinged.
We have taught silent scenes in theater class before.
Oh, it's so good.
I created one for the book.
Yes, you did. Oh, yeah, here it is. Here's what I just said before. That's my seat, Archer, Evan said. I'm pretty sure Paige just decided it's not.
I mean, Jason knows who's in charge. Everybody knows who's in charge.
That Paige has so much power. Oh, Then we get just a little bit further down. And don't pretend you give a shit about Ella. This is Paige talking. Beatrice was right. You're just desperate to capture a fresh audience for your same tired shtick. And I went, is she saying another word when she says shtick?
You can say dick.
Ah, you said it. What? I've never said that word on this podcast. Definitely not preceded by dark magic. But
or indiscriminate.
Indiscriminate. That was so good.
Indiscriminate.
Yeah, and Megan was like, that was not my intent.
That was not my intent.
If the actor wanted to make that choice, that's fine. Oh, okay. So my music theater fans out there, of which I'm sure there are plenty. Of whom, I should say. The screams behind me were all happy, the faceless mass cheering the dancers on as they paddled their arms and legs like an unfortunate cross of scarecrows and foosball men swimming for their little lives, fighting not to drown in a pool I couldn't fucking see. What's great, you asked me, you're like, do you get the musical reference? And I think the reason I didn't latch onto it immediately is because even though it's written kind of comically, it is in such a serious moment that it didn't pull me into the comedy side of things. Does that make sense? Like, I didn't see it as a like a comic relief. It didn't take me out of the drama of the moment. So I didn't think about it. Can you name the musical? Do you want to just tell people?
No. They can wait for it.
All right. So wait for it.
If you know the musical, hop on over to Substack and comment
on the podcast.
On the podcast episode with the musical, because it is very definitively a very specific and well-known musical theater moment.
Yes.
That is the scarecrow foosball men dog paddling for their little lives.
Oh, man. And then, wait, can I give a hint? Okay, so I gave too many hints. I'm not allowed to do that. Okay.
And they were wrong.
They were wrong, I know. And I've done the musical. And it's a beast. It's a beast for a dancer. Okay, and then...
not when you want to do 6 weeks post-knee surgery.
No, it is not.
That was a poor life choice I made.
Yeah.
Still not sorry, but like...
No. Well, it was also, you were like, how many more chances am I going to get to do this? Because we were in our 30s at that point, and you were like, oh, we're aging out. Let's do it now. And we did, and it was really fun. Also, we worked with our absolute favorite director, choreographer of all time. She's amazing. So that's all I had. Did you have anything else you wanted to add about this?
See, you always ask me that, and the thing is, like, what can I say that's not gonna be
giveaway,
a spoiler?
That's a great question, author. You tell me.
I don't fucking know.
Okay, well then I say we move on to a little bit of side business. Those of you who backed on the Kickstarter, get ready, because within the next couple of days, you are going to be receiving your ebook file. Yeah, which we're very excited about.
Now, what we are doing with the ebook file is it is not the ebook file that is going to be the official ebook file that goes out to all the Kickstarter backers before the paperback and hardbacks go out, or with the paperback and hardbacks. We are still working on the 2 full scene art pages, and because the text of the book is ready and everything else in the book is ready, and I don't want to make my Kickstarter backers wait anymore for the story when we're missing 2 illustrations and that's it. Mm-hmm. And obviously, like, we can't do the paperbacks and the hardbacks or anything like that while we're still waiting on these illustrations.
Yes.
But what I want to do is send out the ebook file of the book without those 2 illustrations to the Kickstarter backers, so that if they want to start reading it right now without those 2 illustrations, they can go for it. They can binge the story as fast as they want. And then when the 2 illustrations do come in, they will get another ebook version. Yeah. And then obviously the printed version will have the illustrations in it. Yes. And then when the book eventually rolls out into the general population, then illustrations will be sent as well. But for now, because we have the story, we just don't have those illustrations, we are going to send out the -2 illustrations version to the Kickstarter backers, so that they can have that to read.
Yeah, so that you can read it, because it's awesome. Y'all, I think I mentioned this on the podcast maybe last week, but I did in my, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago during the kind of like recap episode of season 1, but it is your best novel. And that is something coming from me, because I'm such an Ilbrea fan. The fact that I was able to read this and go, no, this is it. This is the best one that you've ever written, is something coming from me. because you've written quite a few since Enna, and I have not found her match yet. And that was it. You did it. Like, I'm amazed, because paranormal is not necessarily like my go-to. I am definitely much more an epic fantasy person, but you've made me a believer. Thank you.
I'm excited because soon I'm going to be, like, if you look at my schedule and what I'm doing, very soon I am going to be in a pattern where all I can really do is Laureldale and Obrea.
I know.
And like that's
Are you so excited?
Gonna be my life is these two little worlds that I've created. And then I'm gonna have like all of my Obrea stuff and then all of my Laureldale podcast stuff. Yeah. And that's kind of gonna be my division for the foreseeable future. And just like knowing that I'm just gonna have these two worlds that I live in. I am very excited.
So why don't you tell everybody where they can find us?
So if you are a Substack person, check out the page by page Substack. You will find all of the episodes there, along with fun little sections where you can comment and chat with other listeners.
Listeners.
You can also find us
That was a horrible Scooby. It was like Scooby and Yoda had a weird baby. I'm sorry.
That's a horrible thought. You can also find us at all of your favorite podcast platforms. Do please like, subscribe, rate, whatever it does to tell the algorithm that you like us and would like to
Subscriptions are amazing. Subscribe.
Yes, but tell the algorithms that you like us and think other people should like us too. And don't forget to come back for next week's episode of Page by Page, writing the book in real time.
I'm so excited to see the fallout from this shit with Evan. I don't know if it's happening next episode, but I am so excited to see the fallout. And I'm really excited to see what the hell Haley has planned for ruining her fucking life. The fact that Ella's like, didn't you promise that once already? Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm very excited. I'm a fan. And I know that you are too. Teen drama. It's so fun because I'm so far away from it now. It's great to look back. It's Schadenfreude. Oh my gosh. What a beautiful thing. That's all from me. So as always, thank you for reading.